Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Ned Bellavance, Ned1313, wherever it was available, and welcome to the Daily Check-In for July 20th, 2020. It is 2020. Well, I mean, 07 20 20 20, but still, I think there's something fun about saying 2020 2020 so many times. No, I'm still wearing my earbuds. That's weird. Well, I don't need to do that because now I am live streaming as opposed to recording a podcast, which was I was doing 5 minutes ago. It's just been that kind of crazy day. It's a crazy Monday. I hope your Monday's going okay. Today's topic is going to be around not limiting yourself by the terminology used to describe your career, what you do. Oh, thank you for the compliment, Mohammed, about the new intro. Yes, I commissioned a new graphic for the intro. I worked it in today, and I have an outro graphic. I didn't have time to work it in, but that will be coming soon. And I actually have some music that's going to be overdubbed or underdubbed, or however you want to say it, into the episode going forward. So some interesting stuff happening with just the production values of this, because believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, it is episode 79 of the Daily Check-In, and that's a lot of episodes. I'm just going to try to keep making it better from here. So, with all that out of the way, I don't have anything to, talk about today in terms of housekeeping items. I just want to check in with you and see how you're doing. Did you have a good weekend? Anything exciting happen to you? I got to go to the shore, which was really nice, and I got to run in 80-degree, like 100% humidity weather, which was awful, and no wind and lots of sun. I will not be doing that again anytime soon. I think I've learned my limitation in terms of running in the heat. So that was interesting. So hopefully you didn't test any limitations with yourself this weekend. Let's get into the topic today, which is all about not limiting yourself when it comes to your job. Now, when you think about working in technology, and this probably applies more broadly to other areas and other careers, but I'm going to focus on technology because that's the area that I work in. When you think about technology, we tend to create these divisions between different groups of people within technology. So you have your ops people, they're doing ops stuff, and you got your help desk people, they're doing help desk stuff. You've got your security team and your dev team. And we create all these divisions and we talk about ourselves in the context of those divisions. Now, I mean, this is kind of what led to the whole DevOps culture, right? This whole idea that if we if we're creating these divisions, right? And we kind of form our little groups, our tight little units, then there's a trust deficiency between the groups sometimes. And you get this like struggle between dev and ops or between ops and security. And because we tend to think of ourselves in these little tribal groups within a larger organization, it creates a lot of difficulty interacting with each other, and you tend to limit your own potential by thinking of yourself simply in terms of that group. And if you were to leave that group, if I were to make the jump from ops to dev, I'm somehow betraying the group that I'm with, and I'm now an outsider. So I don't want to do that. So I want to stay inside my little tribe and protect my little tribe. It's probably the wrong way to think about things. The idea behind DevOps was, let's take some of these different groups and we'll smash them together into one team, one cohesive unit. And the two pizza rule applies here. So the idea that you don't want to make a team that's working on a particular application or project larger than a group of people that could consume two pizzas. So now you're talking about like somewhere around 6 to 8 people. 12 would be the absolute maximum, because in terms of when you're thinking about your in group, that's about the size that a human likes to think of, is in that size group, between 6 and 8 going up to potentially 12. And that's something that's been shown through group dynamics. So that was the idea behind the DevOps movement to a certain degree, or at least organizing people into these groups. But the thing that you have to remember is that businesses are businesses, and we are all part of the business. So when you're thinking about your little IT group, you have to think beyond that to other groups that you need to interact with. We're talking about finance. We're talking about sales. I know. We're talking about marketing. These groups that you may not necessarily want to interact with, but they're all part of this larger business venture. And if you can effectively communicate with those people, you really drive up your value as a contributor to the organization. That's something that I found in my own career. When I came on as an infrastructure person, I initially limited to myself to thinking about the data center. I'm all about the data center. I'm here to rack servers and configure operating systems and connect up storage arrays and do all those infrastructure type things. But and that gives you value. You are providing value to the business by doing all of those tasks, but you could do more and you can venture out in other directions. It doesn't have to be within your same box of IT stuff. Let's say I made the move to cloud and now I'm doing cloud infrastructure. Well, I haven't really left my box. Sure, I've moved on to a new technology and a different implementation of it. But what if I moved more over to the development side and started getting more heavily involved in development? If I don't allow myself to think beyond just being an infrastructure person, it becomes very difficult to think of myself as also a developer. In the same regard, you could potentially move into finance or marketing. And to a certain degree, I kind of did that when I was at my previous job at Avar. I saw that I wanted to start a podcast and that the marketing group was an integral part of that. So I started doing marketing for the company simply by creating a podcast where I got to talk about technology stuff. And then I thought of myself as an infrastructure person, but now I wanted to do something more, and cloud was there and I wanted to do something higher level. And so I started getting into product development and management. And once that happened, now I had to work directly with sales. They were an incredibly important part of getting a product out to market and getting buyers to buy it, or potential buyers to buy it. I had to work with the marketing department to get copy out there and content promoting my product. I had to work with finance about the structure of the product. How do we price it? How do we sell it? The thing that I learned in this process was that going to school and learning technology also taught me just how to learn stuff. And if you're able to learn things, it can really be just about anything. Of course, there are going to be things that you're better at than others, but I think you can develop a minimal proficiency in just about anything if you know how to learn. The value that you're driving then, when you have this minimal level of proficiency, is that you can create connections within an organization and start breaking down some of these barriers and divisions that were created. Because I came from the infrastructure team and I understood how they operated, and now I was talking to the marketing team and I was talking to the sales team and I was talking to the finance team, I was able to tie those various pieces together and make sure that there was a communications channel between them. And by doing that, I hopefully made myself more valuable to the business, to the company. So when you're looking to further develop your career, remember, you're not a virtualization admin. You're not a JavaScript developer. That's not what you are. That's what you do. You do something at your work. You administer virtual machines, but you're not a virtual machine administrator, even if that's your title. That's a limitation on you. You have to remember that there's more potential in you, and don't let yourself be defined by what you do today or by what your title is today. Think more broadly. Think outside of what you're doing today and think about what you might want to do tomorrow, and then go and start learning the things that will enable you to move to that new position or grasp that new thing. And often the best way to do that, and I'll probably finish on this, the best way to do that is to find someone who's already been successful in making a similar transition and just start picking their brain. People like to talk about themselves. So really just get them talking about themselves and then think about how you can use the information that they're giving you to advance your career. And that's a two-way street because they're usually getting something out of the exchange as well. So that's my thoughts for today on further developing your career. For tomorrow, we're doing another Terraform Tuesday, and I've got a pretty good topic lined up all around. I think we're going to be talking about modules because that was a request that came in, some more detail around modules. So I might be doing that or maybe something else. We'll see. But tomorrow is Terraform Tuesday. So until next time, stay healthy and stay safe out there. Thanks, everyone.